2024 June 5. Daily Bread Passage. 1 Samuel chapter 14 verse 1 to 23. Key verse. Verse 6. Title: Jonathan's faith in the Lord. One day Jonathan son of Saul said to his young armor-bearer, "Come, let's go over to the Philistine outpost on the other side." But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying on the outskirts of Gibeah under a pomegranate tree in Migron. With him were about 600 men, among whom was Ahijah, who was wearing an ephod. He was a son of Ichabod's brother Ahitub son of Phinehas, the son of Eli, the Lord's priest in Shiloh. No one was aware that Jonathan had left. On each side of the pass that Jonathan intended to cross to reach the Philistine outpost was a cliff, one was called Bezez and the other Seneh. One cliff stood to the north toward Michmash, the other to the south toward Gibeah. Jonathan said to his young armor-bearer, "Come, let's go over to the outpost of those uncircumcised men. Perhaps the Lord will act in our behalf. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few." "Do all that you have in mind," his armor-bearer said. "Go ahead, I am with you heart and soul." Jonathan said, "Come on, then, we will cross over toward them and let them see us. If they say to us, 'Wait there until we come to you,' we will stay where we are and not go up to them. But if they say, 'Come up to us,' we will climb up, because that will be our sign that the Lord has given them into our hands." So both of them showed themselves to the Philistine outpost. "Look," said the Philistines. "The Hebrews are crawling out of the holes they were hiding in." The men of the outpost shouted to Jonathan and his armor-bearer, "Come up to us and we'll teach you a lesson." So Jonathan said to his armor-bearer, "Climb up after me, the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel." Jonathan climbed up, using his hands and feet, with his armor-bearer right behind him. The Philistines fell before Jonathan, and his armor-bearer followed and killed behind him. In that first attack Jonathan and his armor-bearer killed some 20 men in an area of about half an acre. Then panic struck the whole army, those in the camp and field, and those in the outposts and raiding parties, and the ground shook. It was a panic sent by God. Saul's lookouts at Gibeah in Benjamin saw the army melting away in all directions. Then Saul said to the men who were with him, "Muster the forces and see who has left us." When they did, it was Jonathan and his armor-bearer who were not there. Saul said to Ahijah, "Bring the ark of God." At that time it was with the Israelites. While Saul was talking to the priest, the tumult in the Philistine camp increased more and more. So Saul said to the priest, "Withdraw your hand." Then Saul and all his men assembled and went to the battle. They found the Philistines in total confusion, striking each other with their swords. Those Hebrews who had previously been with the Philistines and had gone up with them to their camp went over to the Israelites who were with Saul and Jonathan. When all the Israelites who had hidden in the hill country of Ephraim heard that the Philistines were on the run, they joined the battle in hot pursuit. So on that day the Lord saved Israel, and the battle moved on beyond Beth-aven. While Saul stayed on the outskirts of Gibeah, unsure about what to do next, his son Jonathan and his armor-bearers slipped out of the camp. They went to see the Philistine outpost. Unlike Saul, Jonathan was not worried about how many would fight with him. In fact, there were only 2 of them. Jonathan saw the Philistines as uncircumcised men. That is, they were not God's people. Jonathan knew that the Lord could save Israel, whether by many or by few. He had faith and courage in God who could do anything. This faith inspired Jonathan's armor-bearer to also fight. Jonathan and his armor-bearer showed themselves to the Philistines. The Philistines told them to come up. This was the Lord's sign. They killed 20 Philistines. Then God sent a panic into the Philistine camp. The Philistines were confused and turned on each other. Saul had no idea what was going on, but he finally led his men into battle. Other Israelites came out and fought. The Lord saved Israel on that day. In your situation, is your faith wholly in God who can do anything? Does your faith and courage also inspire others to put their faith in God? No matter what you are facing, have faith in God today. Prayer. Lord, you can save by many or by few. Help me not to be afraid but to have faith in you. One word. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving.